It's evening in Galveston, and the air still carries the salt of the Gulf. But if you look at this map and imagine the year as 1885, you'd see a city alive with motion and purpose. Galveston wasn't just another coastal town. It was the beating heart of Texas commerce. Ships filled the harbor, trains rumbled to the docks, and the streets echoed with wagons and footsteps. From above, church steeples and brick warehouses rose from the island, each one a mark of confidence and progress. This was a city that believed in its future. Galveston's prosperity was unmatched in the South. Merchants, bankers, and shipping magnates built fortunes that reached across the Atlantic. It was often called the Wall Street of the South, a title it wore with pride. Mansions along Broadway glowed with gaslight, their verandas filled with laughter. In 1885, this island wasn't just thriving, it was booming, one of the wealthiest cities in America for its size. If you were to walk down the Strand, you'd hear the sound of business long before you reached the corner. Horses clattered along brick streets, and shopkeepers called out to sailors, unloading the morning's cargo. The Strand was Galveston's commercial spine, lined with iron-fronted buildings that shimmered in the Texas sun. Behind those ornate facades were cotton brokers, bankers, and traders who kept the city's pulse steady and strong. Inside the offices, the air was thick with the smell of ink, cigar smoke, and ambition. Telegraph wires hummed with deals made in faraway cities. At street level, stores displayed imported fabrics, clocks, and spices from around the world. Everyone here seemed to be moving toward something bigger. People said that if you stood on the Strand at noon, you could hear the future being written. One ship manifest, one banknote, one handshake at a time. From the waterfront, the view was nothing short of spectacular. Tall masted schooners and smoke-belching steamships crowded the docks. Crates of cotton and barrels of sugar lined the wharves, waiting for their turn to cross the ocean. The port of Galveston was the gateway to Texas, the place where the state's riches met the wider world. Dock workers shouted over the roar of machinery as cranes lifted goods onto waiting ships bound for New York, London, and Havana. Beyond the docks, the rail yard stretched inland. Trains hissed and groaned as crews loaded freight cars for the mainland. Cotton, lumber, and grain rolled north toward Dallas, Chicago, and beyond. Galveston's strength came from its connection to everywhere else. Here, land and sea worked hand in hand, turning this barrier island into one of the busiest ports in the country. To stand at the harbor in 1885 was to see the world in motion. But Galveston was more than commerce. It was a city of refinement and culture, proud of its elegance. At Tremont and Church stood the famous Tremont House, a grand four-story hotel that welcomed presidents, generals, and foreign dignitaries. Inside, marble floors gleamed beneath crystal chandeliers. The soft murmur of conversation and the notes of piano music filled the lobby, where the city's most influential gathered to discuss politics, trade, and society. Just a few blocks away, the Grand Opera House shone like a jewel of the Gulf. On performance nights, carriages lined the street, and ladies in evening gowns filled the theater. The air buzzed with excitement as the gaslights dimmed and the curtain rose. Galveston took pride in being a cultured city, home to churches of every faith, libraries, and social clubs. The island was as sophisticated as it was ambitious, a southern port with northern polish. At the edge of town, the noise faded into the steady rhythm of the surf. The beachfront in 1885 was calm and open, a sweep of sand and sea oats with cottages scattered along the dunes. Families sat on porches watching the waves roll in, while fishermen pulled in nets at dusk. Children played in the shallows, unaware of how fragile this peace truly was. There was no seawall yet, no warning of what would come. Looking back, this part of the map feels almost prophetic. Just 15 years later, the Great Storm of 1900 would tear across these same shores, leaving the city in ruins. Thousands of lives would be lost. But Galveston refused to disappear. The survivors rebuilt, lifting their city on new foundations and building a wall against the sea. The same determination that once made Galveston rich would make it strong. Today, if you walk along the Strand or stand by the harbor, you can still feel it, that pulse of ambition from 1885. The sound of gulls, the salt in the air, the brick and stone that survived the storm. The map we hold is more than a record of streets and buildings. It's a portrait of belief. Galveston dared to dream bigger than the tides, and even after tragedy, it endured. That is the true legacy of the Queen City of the Gulf. Share your memories in the comments. I'd love to hear them. If you'd like to keep a piece of this history close, you can find the restored 1885 bird's eye view of Galveston linked below. And if maps like this speak to you, our catalog holds hundreds of beautifully restored views from across the country, each one capturing a city at its moment of promise. Shipping is free, and your support helps keep these restorations alive so we can continue bringing forgotten places and stories back into view. And if you enjoy videos like this, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. It really helps us grow and keeps history alive on this channel. Thanks for joining me on this walk through Galveston's golden age, and for helping history stay in the conversation.